a win. I don't know, by knockout or submission. That's what I'm going to go for, but I expect 5-minute round of war at very high pace.
It is the one we have waited our entire lives for.
Ding, dang, that's right. Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Craig Anthony in the house right now for the 5th round. Oh, yeah. We got a massive show for you today. We do. We got some special guests going to be coming on here in a little bit. I got some news going on for you. We're going to have Nathan Kirby in the house. We got all types of awesome stuff going down. That's right. We got some controversial stuff to talk about. We got a big fight card to talk about. Man, I need 2 hours. What do you think? Callers, you let me know. If you guys ever want to call in, 501-492-5577. 501-492-5577 is the number. If you guys want to call in. I'm going to go right into news, though, right now, just because, well, it's just that type of time. I think I had something on here. Wait a second. Where's it at? Oh, yeah. This is what I wanted to hear. Something a little like this. I love that. I'm just all pumped up this morning. It's Friday. My fight camp's been going awesome, so I feel awesome. I got my butt kicked all week, which is just part of fight camp. So, well, MMA Weekly is reporting that Chael Sonnen has been granted therapeutic use exemption. It clears the path to fight the UFC 148. Chael Sonnen, following a couple of continuous years with the Athletic Commission in the California and Nevada, on Monday was granted a license and therapeutic use exemption in Nevada for his July 7th bout against Anderson Silva at UFC 148. Sonnen went before the Nevada State Athletic Commission on Monday, provided testimony about his past failure to disclose his hypogonadism condition in Nevada and other states, pointing to his belief that it was unnecessary, as was relayed to him by his manager at that time, Matt Lindland. Sonnen is now represented by MMA Inc.'s Mike Roberts and Jeff Mayer. Male hypogonadism is a condition in which the body does not produce enough testosterone, the hormone that plays a key role in masculine growth and development during puberty, according to the Mayo Clinic. So, we've been dealing with this issue for quite a while now when it comes to testosterone stuff. Look, as we get older, as us guys get older, our testosterone levels drop. They do. I've even listened to Randy Couture came on and he discussed it in the past, how, you know, you're in your 40s. I mean, even in your mid-30s, our testosterone levels drop and we can't, your muscle tissue doesn't continually grow. And your strength doesn't stay up as much as it does as when you're in your late teens, early 20s. So, he's not asking to, hey, I want to legally take a steroid or I want to legally just up my testosterone levels. It's, I just want my testosterone levels at the level of the other guys. Totally legal. Totally fine. Now, as when it comes to, say, the Alistair Overeem case, to where his TDE ratio was way off whack at 14-1, then some weird stuff comes up, and we have some stuff to talk about. But, ladies and gentlemen, about to jump on the microphone right now, Mr. Hypogonadism himself. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've got the stand-in for Dolph Lundgren in the other room right now. I will break you. Ladies and gentlemen, Nathan Kirby, what's crack-a-lackin', sir? There you go. You're on.
I got nothing.
Well, I can hear you. Switch headphones or turn your headphones up. How about that? Yeah. Yeah. Good morning, sir.
Hypogonadism.
Hypogonadism.
That's hilarious.
It instantly comes up with a Beavis and Butthead style voice right out of them.
Testes.
Yeah.
1, 2.
So, okay, but here, and there's a question, though, and I'll just pose it to you now that you've wonderfully joined us this morning there, sir. Darn traffic. Testosterone. Is it fair for those whose testosterone levels, as we get older as guys, especially in fighters, and our testosterone levels drop, our body cannot naturally produce it as well as a 21-year-old fighter does? Do you agree with the abilities to be able to take testosterone, such as him, such as Chael Sonnen now, who's allowed to take 2 testosterone shots per day to raise his levels to normal level? Fair or not? Go ahead.
Listen, I'm just stuck on the fact that this is a bunch of crap. This is bull. This is a lie. He's got his backside covered by a bunch of legal documents is all it is. He was taking steroids. That's all it is. It's coming down to this. I don't care who says what. There's no man in his prime, the way he is, fighting in the UFC, training like the way he is, with hypogonadism, that needs to take and pop positive for steroids. Now listen, if did he have normal testosterone levels, or were they raised testosterone levels?
Well, no, we're on Chael Sonnen right now, who he's been approved by. On Monday, he was approved by the Nevada State Athletic Commission.
But didn't he get popped for that?
A couple years ago, because he had not come out and told them about
that's
his
what I'm saying. So now we're covering up our backside.
You are covering your backside.
I just have a massive problem with that.
Okay, well, when we've discussed too, Randy Couture had come out and said, yeah, I would like my testosterone levels to be where
he's 85.
Exactly.
Come on. How old is Chael Sonnen?
34.
Okay.
Yeah. Nick Diaz suspended for 1 year following his positive test for marijuana. After months of legal wrangling and precedents being filed, the Nevada State Athletic Commission finally ruled on Nick Diaz's positive marijuana test, and they dropped the hammer on the Stockton, California fighter. Following a 3-hour-plus hearing in which Diaz spoke to the commission at length about everything, including his history with marijuana use, his medical marijuana card in California, his previous positive test from 2007, and his questionnaire filled out prior to his fight at UFC 143, the commission handed down similar punishment to that of other athletes who have tested positive multiple times in the state. Diaz was suspended for 12 months, retroactive to the date of his bout with Carlos Condit at UFC 143, and also fined 30% of his fight purse from the event. Diaz was paid $200,000 for his fight at UFC 143, so his fine total will out at $60,000. The suspension will run until February 4th, 2013. Now, here's why I've got a debate. And this is where I'm having a little issue. Last weekend, Golden Boy John Jones. DUI Rex's Bentley. You're drunk, homeboy. Now, I've got a story to go with that. And John Jones and his manager speaking out about that. Okay, but it's not looking like anybody's going to take, other than his legal actions against him, no one's coming after him. Drunk driving, I mean, the result of drunk driving can be death, period.
Right.
The result of pot smoking can be carpentry, okay? Because it's nothing. And so why is it that the UFC, Dana White, nobody has coming out saying we're going to lambaste this dude and fry him for DUI wrecking his car, but Nick Diaz smokes pot and he's suspended for a year and a massive fine?
Okay, see, I understand that, but then also, you know, to say that nothing's going to happen when you smoke pot, man, that's not even it. Too, we try and downsize what the we try and downplay the negative effects of marijuana. That's what a lot of people try and do. Listen, marijuana is a drug. It affects you just like alcohol. It does affect you. It affects your blood chemicals. I fully understand that. I'm not a drinker. I'm not a pot smoker either. But I'm not saying what John Jones did was right. But there's a difference here. John Jones isn't fighting. See, all these guys got popped after they competed in front of tens of thousands of people, competed for millions of dollars for pay-per-view. This is an after party. So to be in trouble, for John Jones to get in trouble by somebody, okay, the law is going to get him in trouble. But he didn't break any rules as far as the UFC. Now, that being said, he has to go and meet with Dana White. Dana White, I was going to post this whole thing on my Facebook, a whole thread. But when he had to meet with Dana White, and Dana White's got to make a decision. You know, one of the best things I've ever heard Dana White said. Now, this is coming from the tyrant himself.
The guy who does not, and you who does not like Dana White.
No, and I wish I could change that, and I wish it was and I don't want anybody to think it's a personal opinion.
I'm trying to get Dana White on our show right now. So
okay, well, I'd love to chew the fat with this guy. What he's done for MMA has been great, but what he's doing to MMA is not great. The face that he's still giving it, the look that he's still giving it, what these bonehead idiots are still doing on The Ultimate Fighter, and he's putting him on there for ratings. That's all it is. Come on, man.
Phone lines are open, just so everybody knows. I'm going to let you continue. Phone lines open, 501-492-5577.
Call in, let's face off. Say it again.
501-492-5577 is the line if you want to call in, and we'll get you to the front of the line. And if you got any of these topics that you want to debate, or if you guys want to say anything about it, I mean, I sit there and I find it funny. I love reading the streams and the lines anymore. Someone mentions Nick Diaz, and you have people come out saying he's a punk, he's arrogant, he's this, he's that. Then you hear everybody going, War Stockton, right on, And I love that. That's a big, huge thing about MMA. That's why we love this stuff. There is the fun of this. We've got so many great gyms here in Little Rock. And you could have someone sit there and say, oh, ATA rules. And then the next guy's going to be like, West Side rules, War West Side.
That's okay.
And it's awesome.
What you're saying is completely different than what we have, though. West Side rules from one person. That's great because you're showing support to your team.
Yeah.
You're saying, Wolfpack rules, name the gym. But then you've got these guys talking crap about these guys, saying these guys. That's not supporting.
That's not supporting. That's not
hating
growth.
all over again. That's what I came into 3 years ago.
That is not growth. I've been asked by people online too about the Triad Fight League. Hey, Little Rock team, that'd be great. And I would love to be getting phone calls from every major gym owner in this town saying, we've got fighters, let's work together and let's create a team. Because we could. We've got phenomenal fighters in the state of Arkansas to have a Little Rock fight team.
Yeah, but you know what we don't have? Humility. You know what we don't have?
Camaraderie.
We don't have somebody to take their pride and their big fat ego and put it aside. Because you know how hard it's going to be for me to do that? I'm not saying that I'm any better than anybody. I'm just saying how hard it is to be able to say it's Team Little Rock, it's Team Arkansas, okay, an actual team here that we are going to sacrifice for another, no one left behind. We're going to do everything we can to pick everybody back up. No, we can't because, no, this guy is too connected to this team, and this team is, and this guy has bad blood, and he wants to talk crap about. I would love to hear somebody really step up and say, you know what, we have no bias. We want a non-opinionated coach to take somebody to the next level. I got an invite to California to the first ever MMA combine. There's an MMA combine in California. And I think that would be awesome to take it out there. Unbiased, looking for talent, looking for up-and-coming fighters. And anyway, go ahead. We got a caller.
We got a caller on the line, the one and only Danny Cooper.
Danny Cooper, hello, sir.
What's up, Mr. Nathan Kirby?
How are you?
How's it going, man?
What's up, buddy?
Man, I just got a comment about the Triad thing for Little Rock and for Arkansas. I've talked about this at length with some other people. I kind of agree with you, Nathan, on this. Around here, everything is so fragmented and has been for years that it's going to take an act of God, literally, I believe, to get everybody to come together on the same page to get something like that going. Now, do we have the fighters here to do it? Without a doubt, we do. I mean, amateur, pro, it doesn't matter. Women, men, it's there. But I don't think you could get, I'd be willing to do it. I know you'd be willing to do it. But I think some of your more opinionated school owners and gym owners, you couldn't get them to sit in the same room long enough to work things out.
Well,
it just wouldn't happen.
I'd love to take that challenge. And this is what I said. I had a meeting the other day, getting ready for Kingdom Promotions, and I sat everybody down, and this is truly what I say. And I've learned something when you're dealing with leadership, and this is to business owners out there. This is to instructors. This is a leadership workshop right now. What I found is if you could tell your people when you come together with a meeting, which meetings waste time, it's a waste of time, but if you can come together and you have it clear in advance that if you have a suggestion for me or for our team or for our group, or, Danny, the same thing. You've got a group of instructors that come around and you're having a meeting. And if they have a suggestion for your school, I could say the same thing to Rolly, Matt and Rolly. If somebody walks in and says, hey, I have a suggestion, somebody asked me about running this class, and listen, I'm one person. So I say, unless you have a solution and then you can bring it to the table, I don't want to hear a problem. Because problems, I've got plenty of those. I got 99 problems.
That's it.
And but anyway, I tell everybody all the time, do not bring me a problem, bring me a solution. So if you've got a problem, bring it to me, but then also say, but here's the solution. So I have a challenge then. Then why can't we bring together a Little Rock team? Why can't we bring an Arkansas team? Who else can do it? I'll be the first one to say, let's go.
Us. I mean, everybody would have to get together and just make it happen. I mean, you just got to let bygones be bygones and do it for the good of the growth of the sport in the state. And
yeah, I think if we were presented with that opportunity, we would do it. I really do. Look at the fighters. We've got fighters down in Hot Springs. There's fighters up in Fayetteville and Bentonville. There's fighters in Fort Smith. You know, there's a whole slew of fighters in Fort Smith I've never met. A whole fight goes on up there. There's a fight the same night that we have one here in Little Rock. I've never met these guys.
Right.
So why don't we have an MMA combine here? Why don't we have like this massive tournament to find out who's the best in every single weight class and build a team and get on that freaking Triad Fight League and represent? And is it all pro or is it amateur?
No, pro and amateur.
Pro and amateur.
It's a pro-am card. And I'm already fighting.
You're on the amateur 185.
I'm on the amateur 185 card. But we need more. But I'm representing my old hometown of Phoenix, Arizona, because we don't have somebody here, and I only felt that befitting for myself. But I'll tell you right now, I would lay it out right now. If we could get this together, and this is the calling to all of you out there that are fighters, coaches, gym owners, hit me up, hit Nathan Kirby up on our Facebook pages. Let us know. Let's do this together. I will defect from my team in Phoenix and come and fight for where I live now. I've been in Arkansas for 3 years. This is my home. I have made a home here. And I would fight for the Little Rock team. We need a team. We've got great coaches. I could go off on a laundry list of phenomenal coaches that we have in this town. We have the experience, the coaching, and the facilities to do this. So I'm laying it on the line. Hey, Arkansas, let's get together and be a community of MMA and do this and represent the city of Little Rock. Because you know what? It's possible. And I will personally call Alexo Bell today and say, sir, we have a team if we were able to have a team. And I will guarantee you that he lets us represent. Danny, I thank you for your time this morning.
No problem, man. Well, I'm willing. I know my partner Matt Smith would be willing to do it also. So
and right now we're
on board if we can get it going.
I got these two guys and Brandon Hawkins kicking my butt all week long right now, and it's been phenomenal. And I know they're getting me ready.
But see,
all right,
okay,
no problem, guy. All right, hey, I'll see you later, man.
Goodbye,
Take care.
sir.
I got.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay, what you just did right there alienated half of our listeners. See, that's what I'm trying to, and it's not you meant to. All you had to do is say one guy's name, Matt Smith. All you have to do is say one guy's name, Danny Cooper. All you got to do is say one guy's name, Brandon Hawkins. Well, what's he related to? He knows Danny Dream, right? That's where he was from. Is he still training with Matt
No,
Smith?
he's with us, and he's over at Nemesis now.
Okay. So, okay, there you go. There's another fragment. He was with one team, now he's over at this other team, and you've just separated yourself with these 3 or 4 guys. Well, there's 10 other teams that don't like those guys. So what I'm saying is the only way this is going to happen, I see a facility. We have one facility down on the river, and that's West Side.
Yep.
Okay? They have a big enough place that they'd be able to house everybody. But is it going to be a West Side, or is it going to be a Arkansas? Is it going to be that team alone, or is it going to be a group of people coming together to represent the state of Arkansas, or the city of Little Rock, or whatever? Because is it the Phoenix? Is it a city, or is it a state?
Exactly.
Which one is it
as of
supposed
right
to be?
now, it's Phoenix. It's the Phoenix Finishers.
Right. Well, and they're probably represent. Okay, so we'd be Little Rock, but we'd have guys from Hot Springs fighting in it.
You would. I mean, you got fighters on the New York Knockouts that are from Australia.
Yeah.
All these teams. None of the teams are named after the states. You've got Dallas. You've got L.A., New York, Calgary, Toronto. Everybody's representing their city.
I hope you understand what you just did,
Yeah.
Craig, because, we bring up a problem, and I'm looking for a solution, and I'm already seeing it. I guarantee you by the end of the day, we'll have a team. We'll start a team. We can put this out there. I'll have it viral to thousands of people over Facebook and Twitter and email and LinkedIn, and we'll name it. And then all of our listeners, they start, next thing you know, we're going to be involved in this big team. I'll call Matt. I'll call Rolly. We'll have a team. We'll have a group of coaches that represent the different schools, so we're staying unbiased as possible.
Yes.
I guarantee if you really want to do this, we can do this. I guarantee you that's something that we can do if we want to represent, if we want to have the Little Rock Love Bugs, whatever. I guarantee you they'll be up for it.
It's going to be the Little Rock Rockheads, because I know there's a lot of guys in here that got some
say
jaws
crackheads?
going on. Yeah. Wow.
The Little Rock Crackheads?
I gotta seriously watch what I'm saying this morning. Everything's coming out weird like gonadism.
Well, hey, listen, I know we went on a tangent, but I guarantee you, man, if you really want to do this, let's do it, because we could complain, but
I'm ready to rock. I'm fighting. I'm ready to go, and I want everybody to come together as a giant love fest.
Then you make a phone call. And why don't you make a phone call and find out what we need to do? Find out from him, what does it take? How many people on each team? What are our weight classes? How many pros? How many Amis? And I guarantee you, I've got the amateurs here. We've got the pros already here. With all the team that I have, do you know how many fighters I've talked to over the last 8 weeks preparing for this June 23rd fight for the Troops show?
I was going to say, I can go. We can go along
Hundreds.
the list of who's fighting for the troops here in June, and I guarantee you, almost every one of those guys will be ready to go. Ready, fired up. Especially a lot of these amateurs.
Yeah, but you know what? This is what I'm saying, and congrats to you for getting on that team. You're gonna have to fight to get on this team.
Yeah,
I want it to be you want to say you're the best, or you want to be able to fight with the best, and you've got to beat the best. And I say you've got to do a round robin. You have to have, out of 5 fights, you got to win at least 3 before you can even be considered to be on this team. Because why waste our time if you're just going to get in there and curl and turtle up, or you're just going to get there and knocked out because you have a glass jaw, or freeze up under pressure. So I mean, let's have a.
Speaking of, because I just thought about this, and this is funny, it'll make you giggle. One of the guys from the gym last night told me that they rolled with you once, and they tapped out because they got so nervous when they were rolling with you. You didn't even do anything to them. And he's like, you could tell Mr. Kirby that when you see him tomorrow morning, that I seriously was so nervous, and he moved on me, and I tapped, and he didn't even do anything to me because they were so.
That's funny.
I knew he'd giggle.
That's funny.
Look at that.
That was a
Hey,
laugh.
UFC 146 tomorrow night on pay-per-view live from the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada. The main card on pay-per-view, man, it's the big dogs.
It's been a while since we've had a fight card like this. You know that, right?
Man, I don't think seriously, I don't think the UFC's ever had a card that's this heavyweight stacked.
Well, it used to be. Remember when they were naming all their fights? It used to be,
the
America
throwdown and punishment.
There was one called Heavy Hitters.
Yeah,
Heavy Hitters, and it was oh my gosh. Oh, I can't even think of their names now. My mind's. I'm still back on this whole thing with the Little Rock Love Bugs.
Little Rock Love.
I'm still thinking there's so much we could do with that. So.
Okay, so and this was a wonderful thing. Here's a little piece of history for you. Since the heavyweight division was introduced in 1997, the longest win streak for a heavyweight title holder has only been 2 fights. 2 fights. It rolls so much. The odds on in the Las Vegas odds right now have Frank Mir to win.
You know what? Somebody sent me a fight card and they had his picks highlighted. And I'm like, oh wow, you're really wrong, aren't you? He's like, what? Yeah. See, I've got my picks. I know I've got all my picks.
Well, heavyweight title fight tomorrow night. Junior Dos Santos versus Frank Mir.
I would love, man. We've got to have some side of a competition. Why don't we do that? Let's have a competition. Let's throw out a competition that next Friday, when we come back in, we'll have the results from this fight card. So why don't we give away tickets?
You got a pair of tickets to the fights?
Yeah, I've got. We'll do the picks. Whoever gives us the correct picks.
So they got to drop your picks today.
Yeah, the picks have to be dropped today or tomorrow.
Yep.
Before the fight. and everything is time stamped, so don't worry about it. But what I want you guys to do is go to the Fifth Round Facebook site, and I want you to type in, and all you've got to do is keep this as simple as possible. If you got Junior Dos Santos and Frank Mir, Cain Velasquez, Bigfoot Silva, all you got to do is just put down Dos Santos, Silva, Nelson, Rosario, Johnson. I mean, just you do your top picks. I'm not talking about the undercard either. I'm talking about the
main event only.
The top 5 fights. The top 5 fights. If you want to do the undercard, if we have a tie up top, if we have a tie for the top picks, then whoever has the most undercard picks too. So if you want to try and do your undercard picks as well, but you got to go to the 5th round.
I'll even throw in a pair of tickets to the Arkansas Travelers.
Okay. All right. That's it. You hear it. So go on the UFC website so you can look up the fight card. I'll take a picture of it.
And we're about to throw down on some of these right now on our picks, bro.
Okay.
You know that.
Okay. I know. So
No
what we're
way
going to
we
do
can go
is
past that.
what we'll do is I'm going to take a picture of this little fight card right here. I'm going to put it on our 5th Round Facebook page. You guys go on there, like it so you can start following it. And on this, I want you to pick your top picks. Okay?
That works.
That
work.
works. All right. And whoever has the most, next Friday, we're going to call you out on the radio show. We're going to try and get in touch with you this week, and we'll call you out on the radio show.
So I was watching yesterday. I watched the this press conference. I watched the press conference for UFC 146. Everybody needs to know, too, if you're ever interested, you have the time, usually the Thursday before a UFC event, you can go onto Facebook, you can go onto UFC.com, and you'll be able to watch the live press conference. This one was pretty interesting. It was done a little bit different than normal. You didn't have all the big dogs at one time sitting out there. People were brought in. LeVar Johnson, I'm really looking forward to this fight, but I'm going to tell you right now, LeVar Johnson's a big dude.
Yeah.
He's a massive guy, but you know what? The comparison was me to you when it came to Stefan Struve come walking out.
Yeah.
Because they don't call him the skyscraper for nothing. At almost 7 feet tall, he is huge.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's going to be great. LeVar Johnson came out on and stated something about, Stefan Struve's had a couple of really good submission finishes lately. And LeVar sits there and says, hey, why don't you leave jiu-jitsu for the mats and why don't you just, come to fight in the UFC? Okay, I understand that, but jiu-jitsu wins a lot of fights.
Yeah.
Submissions win a ton of fights in the UFC. So LeVar, if you get taken down, I really hope your ground game is good because we all know you got heavy hands. We just saw that knockout a couple of weeks ago, and Stefan Struve's got reach. He could reach you across the octagon. He's so big. I'm gonna have to sit back and go. I think. It's a toss-up for me on that fight. I think LeVar Johnson can win it if he comes in and gets heavy-handed. But I think I'm going to give my slight edge to Stefan Struve in this fight. The kid's 24, and he's already got 10 fights in the UFC, which is a lot. And that's a lot of great fighting in the UFC. The kid can throw down. He's got some good knockouts. He's got good grappling skills. And I think LeVar Johnson is still a little bit one-sided for his abilities. He's got big, heavy hands. But I'm going to leave that one to Stefan Struve. What do you think?
Okay, I agree. When I told you that, I got a fight card pick last night. He had LeVar Johnson. Now, I'm not a Stefan Struve fan. There's just nothing about him that he's the – I think it's because he's 7 foot tall. He's got a 20-foot reach. He can reach it from across, one of his hands. We understand how power works. It's speed and mass. Mm-hmm. And there's your power right there. And so you've got – enough time to travel from where he's swinging to when he hits you. That's a lot of mass, coming at you. But, no, I think Stefan Struve has an edge on that. But, man, I'm telling you, that one right there, that one could go either way.
Stipe Miocic versus Shane Del Rosario, 2 undefeated fighters. That's going to be an interesting fight.
Yeah.
And to the point where I think, it's going to be a toss-up. I didn't know, until yesterday, I didn't know a lot about Miocic's previous history. The guy played college baseball. I mean, he could have had a career in other sports beyond MMA, but he's been a phenomenal MMA guy. Being a Croatian, of course, they want to say, oh, is he going to be the next coming of the Mirko Cro Cop, which nobody will ever be a Mirko Cro Cop. Yeah, he was a one of a kind guy. Shane Del Rosario, heavy hands, good striking. Man, I'm going to be, only because it's Del Rosario's debut in the UFC. Do I give Miocic a little bit of an advantage, a slight advantage? I think they're pretty even as far as being fighters are, but the octagon experience means a lot. Cage experience is huge. How many? It goes back to the whole thing of guys going from being in a ring, boxers, to going into a cage. It's a different animal. It's a different beast. Yes, he's fought in cages before, but the UFC, there's that much more pressure on you.
Right.
So, and that's why I got to give Miocic a slight advantage on that one.
I got Rosario.
Okay. Big Country, Roy Nelson versus Dave Herman. Well, Big Country's already been spewing some stuff online that he might go to the WWE eventually, which we can all sit back and look at the caveman, gigantic beard and the keg belly, and go, okay, maybe you need to be over there, dude. But
yeah,
Big Country, he's got something to prove right now. He's coming off a loss. But we all got to sit back and realize Big Country Roy Nelson is still the real deal. He is a legitimate BJJ black belt. He's got heavy hands. And so it's going to be another good fight between those two. And I'm actually going to give a slight edge to Roy Nelson.
I've got Herman on this one.
All right. So we are. I'm going to mark these down so I can sit there and have something to toss back at you next week. And they go, ha, ha, ha. See, I was right. Antonio Bigfoot Silva versus Cain Velasquez. Cain, enough said.
Cain's a girl. I got Bigfoot.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Listen, there is nothing about Cain Velasquez that just screamed at me from the very beginning. Listen, I love the fact that they're taking advantage of his heritage, okay, because that brought in a massive Hispanic population and fan base to the mixed martial arts. Okay?
Well, yeah, he was the first Mexican American heavyweight champion.
He was the
in
first
any type
one.
Of combat.
Yeah. Hey, listen, and because of that, and they did all the UFC videos and all the tributes and all this stuff, he grew in popularity, and the whole entire time, just like. Pff.
He walked through guys though. And being a Division I NCAA wrestler from Arizona State, champion, dude was a monster. Comes into the UFC. The first time I watched him fight was against Big Ben Rothwell. He made Rothwell look amateur.
Yeah, but Rothwell at the time wasn't training right, you know? I mean, that was his problem in the IFL as well. You know, he got in there and he fought some chumps, and then he fought, Travis Fulton, who has 7,000 fights. Travis barely even trained for that, and he barely beat Travis Fulton. Look at what happened with look at what happened in the last fight in the UFC. North Star. I think that's it. What's his nickname? Anyway, I think it's a North Star. Anyway, he's looking so much better. He's trim. I mean, there's a picture of him and I standing together, and we're about the same size, same height, same everything. And he's a UFC fighter. And he was just fat thick. But now he's ripped. Now he's getting muscle. Now he's training. Now he wants this. He realizes just because you're 6'7", Tim Sylvia, doesn't mean you're a UFC champion. Doesn't mean, that somebody figure out your game and you lose your title. Because didn't you say before what the average is if somebody has a UFC title? 2?
For heavyweight?
For heavyweight.
2.
That was Tim
Sylvia. It's not average. That's the most.
Yeah, that's 2. That was Tim Sylvia, wasn't it?
Tim Sylvia, 2.
Didn't Brock have it twice?
Brock twice, and Andre Arlovsky.
Arlovsky! Man, he's, there's not many people that ever intimidate me to where, when I'm a heavyweight fighter, you always look at your opponent
Andre
going,
was
man,
the
I've got
man,
him.
Dude.
I was a
big fan of Andre Arlovsky.
Crapola out of me.
Yeah. When he showed up with the fang, look at the fang.
Yes.
He first got the fangs.
Yes.
All right, Junior, and then we got the title. Well, actually, no. Let's go to the undercard even more here before we really.
Yeah, there's some good undercard fights.
Man, some of my favorite
Jacob
fights.
Volkman.
Man, Volkman, dude, because the guy has a mouth, and I love it. The guy can sit there and talk some trash after he's done the Volkman fight. Kyle Kingsbury, that fight, those two fights are going to be on the Facebook card early. Jacob Volkman versus Paul Sass. I'm going to go with Volkman on that one. Kyle Kingsbury versus Glover Teixeira. I'm going to have to go with Kingsbury on that. I think Kingsbury is on his way back up. I think he's got some to prove, and I think it's going to be a really good fight, and I think he's going to have a lot to come out with. Then we move into the undercard on Fox, where we've got 4 fights that, in my opinion, could be put on any main event card that the UFC puts on. I love these fights. First off, Dan Hardy versus Dwayne Bang Ludwig.
I love Ludwig.
Me too. Man. And I'm hoping he knocks Dan Hardy clean back to jolly old England.
Amen.
And finally, I hope after that fight, I hope Dana White comes out and says, Dan, you are not worth what we paid you for. Go home.
He gets ratings.
Finally.
He's foreign and he gets ratings.
Dude. Jason Mayhem Miller versus CB Dollaway.
I'm a mayhem monkey.
I am a monkey. Woo! But I love CB Dollaway.
Like a girl.
It's my Michael Jackson for the morning. But we got CB Dollaway versus Jason Mayhem Miller. Man, it is a huge toss-up. CB Dollaway, I know he's been fighting hard.
Yeah.
He rolls with Ryan Bader out there at Power MMA and Fitness in Phoenix. So he's got a great camp. There's a lot of good stuff there. Mayhem Miller, I know for a fact that dude has stepped up his training. He has not messed around. Notice, between his last fight and this fight, there's not been a season of bully beatdown. You have not seen Mayhem's face all over the place except for one short video that was on where it showed him training. He was at one of the Jiu-Jitsu gyms. He had brought in some high-level Jiu-Jitsu guys to come work with him. He's training. I think we're going to see a different Mayhem. We're seeing a serious monkey Mayhem coming in for this fight. I'm going to give the edge to Mayhem on this one.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with you.
We're on radio. They can't see your face nodding up and down.
Yeah, no, I know. But I was trying to get our Facebook set up so we can get those picks going for tonight and tomorrow. Edson
Barbosa versus Jamie Varner.
I like both of those fighters.
So do I. Barboza has the edge on reach. They can both knock you out. They both got a lot of good stuff going on. I might have to act. Do you got a quarter on you? That's how I'm going to call this
that's
one.
That's a tough one.
Dude, I'm going to flip my phone. And then, you know what? The one fighter on this undercard on FX that I'm really looking forward to, Diego Brandao versus Darren Elkins. Diego Brandao, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt from Brazil, trains out of the Jackson camp. Came out, he won the Ultimate Fighter in his weight division. The guy, he fights with a passion that a lot of people don't have because of how he's come out with this. I mean, he came just like most Brazilians when they come up poor, they come up without. And this was his opportunity to come to America and fight and make money for his family. And so, you know what? And watching him in the ring, watching him in the cage, the dude is a monster. And I'm going to give it to Brandao for that fight. This is his first big fight since he won the Ultimate Fighter. Leading it to the top, we've got Junior Dos Santos versus Frank Mir. Now, Frank Mir could become 3-time heavyweight champ if he wins this fight.
Look, I'm not taking anything away from Frank Mir. Nothing at all.
Zero. Antonio Nogueira came out after that last fight and said that Frank Mir has basic jiu-jitsu, has just decent. And of course, I thought it was funny how Mir retorted about that. He goes, yeah, but I took your arm home with me. So basic or not, it works. You know, his jiu-jitsu, he's a legit black belt under Robert Drysdale. And
yeah, when I watched Tim Sylvia's arm snap, his forearm, his radius and ulna break, I'm sick. I understand that. I giggled like a girl. I loved it. I screamed up and down. That was a great day watching Frank Mir snap his arm.
Do I need to make a phone call to either one of our big guys for the day?
Well, I thought you already had it set up.
Well, I go through you.
I thought you already had it set up. Man, call them. Let's go.
Are they waiting
on our first caller?
Are they waiting for us?
No.
No?
I thought you had it all set up.
No, we talked to him last week and said, hey, next week. Yeah, we got him. We got him.
You're the engineer here. You got the board.
I do got the board. I'll call him.
I just got the radio looks.
Well, tell us all about the next fights coming up in June. What's going on? And I'll get on the phone.
Kingdom Promotions MMA presents Fight for the Troops. Man, we have got an amazing fight card. Now, listen, fight fans, MMA fans, fifth-round fans, I know we said this last week. We could not do this without you. And you are what makes our show possible. But you're not the reason we do this show. Our fighters are the reason we do this show. They love this. They would do this every day if they could. If they could fight every single day somehow, some way, somewhere without the Arkansas State Athletic Commission coming in, then we would be having fights every single day. But since that's not possible, we have a fight set up for you, June 23rd. It's called Fight for the Troops. This is a military tribute show. We have almost every branch of the military coming out to support us. We've got partnerships set up with companies and businesses throughout the state, throughout the city of Little Rock. We've got an amazing opening now. Now, when I say that, I wish I had the attention of everybody. You cannot miss the opening of Kingdom Promotions Fight for the Troops. So I'm going to say that to you guys. Understand, the doors are open at 6 o'clock on Saturday, June 23rd. Doors open at 6. And our VIP ticket holders and our cage side ticket holders, you guys have a special side entrance. You get to come in and start coming in at 6 o'clock. Whether you show up at 7 o'clock, you get to come in the special side so you don't have to stand in line. Everybody else has to stand in line for general admission. So you guys get to come in the side entrance. At 6:30, we're going to have our undercard fights. At 7 o'clock, we're going to kick off the show with its first presentation. And I'm telling you, you don't want to miss the opening of this show. Okay? When I sat there, when I was working this, and I can't even say anything because I'll give it away, I had goosebumps all over my body. I just shaved, and I had to shave again. I had goosebumps everywhere. My skin was crawling on my back, and then I'm a visual type of person. I mean, my creativity flows that way. You know, I could close my eyes, and I could literally see it right now. I mean, and then all I have to do is say some name, and then all of a sudden, boom, it pops into this picture in my head. And I'm telling you, I could see them. Here they are. Oh, man, I wish you could see this picture. And then, whoo, I got goosebumps everywhere. Telling you, the beginning of this fight on June 23rd is going to be epic. The fights that we have, I know we posted the fight card. It's on my Facebook page. We're going to post it to the Kingdom Promotions Facebook page. And also, guys, go to Kingdom Promotion MMA. No, Kingdom Promotion. That is the Facebook page, not Kingdom Promotions, because that's something else. It's Kingdom Promotion with no S. Go to that Facebook page, and then that's how you can follow everything that we're doing with this fight. So don't forget, guys, June 23rd, Kingdom Promotions, Fight for the Troops. Now, listen, on this fight card, we have some top AMIs. I just locked down another AMI last night that is one of the top 45ers in the state as an amateur fighter. He's actually fighting at 55. He's fighting another top guy out of Fayetteville. Locked down another pro fight yesterday. We've got a pro debut from, in my opinion, my humble opinion, we have probably one of the best 170-pound pro fighters in this state, and he's making his debut. And that's a large claim for me to say that. Large claim for me to say that. And the reason why is just because, you know, he's only had 6 MMA fights, 6-0, and he's a kickboxer, he's a striker, but man, he is such an athlete. So I'm telling you guys, Joe Merritt from Westside MMA is making his pro debut June 23rd. And he's fighting Drew Reed, who already has 5 pro fights from Quincy, Illinois. And I'm excited to see this fight. I'm excited for Joe to be able to fight in his hometown. I have Nate Murdoch, Man, Nate is an up-and-coming fighter.
You got Murdoch fighting on this card,
Nate
dude?
Murdoch is fighting on this fight card.
Dude, I'll tell you right now, if you guys get a chance to hang out with Nathan Murdoch, he is one of the most laid-back, cool cats you will ever meet, dude.
He's crazy.
I love that guy. I'm friends with him on Facebook.
He's crazy. So, but anyway, and I messed up, and so I could publicly tell everybody right now, guys, I'm sorry, I messed up. We had to switch the fight card late. You know, I pulled Nate Murdoch from this. I had to do some switching and moving around. You know, I've got to cater to coaches and fighters. I've got to worry about the cash flow that goes out to pay all these guys. It was a nightmare. I had to make a deal to try and set this Joe Merritt fight because that was my #1 fight because that's local. So it was a nightmare. Well, I ended up giving Willie McLaughlin the fight with Jimmy Van Horn when I had guaranteed Nate Murdoch that fight. And I didn't get to communicate with his team in time. I mean, I literally had a 24-hour time window to make a decision, make a cut, add a fight, change a contract. So now it's back to Nate Murdoch is fighting Jimmy, and right now I'm looking for a 140-pound, 145-pound pro fighter so I can get Willie McLaughlin to fight here in Little Rock. So
Willie's a great fighter, too. Looking forward to seeing that guy.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
I sadly will not be in the house that night.
I know, but you got to do what you got to do, man.
It's a married life.
You only have an anniversary once every year. Well, you know, it's funny. I can say that to some people.
I just got off the phone with the one and only Pat Miletich. He is currently stepping into a meeting with ESPN at the moment, so I will back down off that one. But he did say he'd come on next week. So next week, guys, I do apologize. So did Pat. He was all, you know, he was really hyped up. We just had some miscommunication throughout the week, but Pat did just tell me that he will be on the air next week. Then I just tried to call Dan Severn and message. So
yeah, he's tough sometimes.
He's a busy guy. You know, a lot of these guys you guys might think, oh, he's old and some guys might be old and retired after they leave the UFC. These guys still live some very, very busy lives. Dan does go around the country, does seminars, wrestling seminars. I know he does speeches and appearances and stuff too, and he pretty much lives in a suitcase half the time. So we are still working on getting some phenomenal. We still have some great interviews. Coming up over the next couple of weeks.
No, we do. I think what happened is, man, we had such a big, huge radio show last week, and some of you guys don't understand this. You know, the phone calls that we make trying to get stuff set up, the new advertising package we're trying to grow this show with. We want to make the 5th round Arkansas's premier mixed martial arts radio show, and I want to step outside of that realm, get outside the Arkansas feel, and I want to go national. I want to make sure that we can get syndicated. I want you guys to be proud of your MMA guys here in the state that are from here that made it big time. Now, it doesn't mean that we've got to be sponsored by Nike. All I'm looking for is an extra hour right now. Just even go to 2 hours on Friday. And if we can go to an hour every single day, man, that is so tough. If you guys can understand anything about how marketing, networking, advertising, how the radio business, how the advertising business works, woo, man, it is cutthroat.
And now, and we don't just do this on now. Nathan and I, you know, we put in tons of hours, and knowing that working with Kingdom Promotions MMA, I got to give a big shout out right now to Nikki, because she's been doing a phenomenal job with the website for Kingdom Promotions.
Nikki Adami?
Yes, Nikki Adami.
She's my webmaster.
Dude, I mean, she's been in personal contact with me constantly about, with Sean, when we had Nate Corey on a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
That was on her. Dude,
she's the one who got me Charlie Raider.
There is the love out there, you know,
yeah.
the great, wonderful love in the team aspect that's coming from Kingdom Promotions to the people that you don't ever hear of. If you've never heard of the name Scott Harness, dude, another great guy. Guys that are tied in with everybody that deserve praise. Because in the 5th round doesn't exist because of some of these people behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So big, massive thank you to our listeners and those that are behind all of us to continually put this together. Kingdom Promotions event does not go off because Nathan Kirby never sleeps. The wonderful teams behind him, the behind-the-scenes folks, deserve a huge round of applause and a thank you and a handshake because without them, stuff don't happen.
Yeah.
So, 10 minutes left to go in the show. 10 minutes.
Hey, Ty, I know you're listening. We've got our very own mixed martial arts photographer in the state of Arkansas. But man, I can't tell you, if I could give somebody props to, if I can give somebody an opportunity to take his talent and his ability and his passion somewhere to the top, Ty would be it. He is a tireless example of what passion truly can do for you.
Hit List MMA?
Yes, Ty Moore. He's amazing. He started Hit List MMA. If you guys get a chance, there's some on our Facebook page, there's some on our website, there's some on my personal Facebook page. Go to Hit List MMA, Hit List Images. That's on Facebook. And go and look up Ty Moore, who runs Hit List Images. You go look up what he has on his Facebook. He has some of the most amazing shots. Amazing pictures that he takes for MMA shows. But anyway, Ty created our new banner, the new Fight for the Troops banner. I'm trying to make him an admin on our fifth round page so he can start adding photos of these fighters for us. And I need your email, Ty. So I know you're probably listening. He's a faithful listener also. So I need to get, if I can get Ty to give me your email address, I can get him out there, and I mean, he's just phenomenal, tireless. I mean, his whole family. I mean, Chrissy, his wife. Oh my gosh, they're just what they've done for the last few shows. I'm telling you, it's turned in from we're gonna have special guests to we love everybody.
It's the peace and hip. It's the beatnik hour here on KLRG. Yeah, man.
Yeah. No, we just, man, so thankful. We're so blessed.
To the fans.
Knowing that, Craig, now you said that we have an opportunity and a possibility to take our show from 10 to 11. Now we're going to be able to start at 9.
We're working on it. I'm working on it right now. So we're going to see what we got. Another event coming up. For all you that didn't know, the North American Grappling Association, June 9th, Memphis. That is the closest we're going to have so far to having a major, big jiu-jitsu tournament within a 2-hour drive. This isn't driving all the way to Dallas.
Yeah.
This is Memphis. And it's only that Saturday, the 9th. So you can get up in the morning. I'm going to leave my house like 6 a.m., 7 a.m., shoot on up there. My son's competing. I'm competing. I want to see Arkansas faces. I want there to be more Arkansas grapplers there than any other state around.
When did you say this is?
That's June 9th.
Yeah, I know that I'm not going to be there. I'm going to be in the Ozarks with about 200 men. We're doing a Christian retreat for a church. It's called Mud and Guts. Guys, if you want to do anything like this, if you're not going to be going to Memphis to support our grapplers, we were talking about last week how I was kind of being secretive. I did open my school. I opened up my MMA school again. It's in Otter Creek, and I can't wait for, man, I mean, my first class, I had a dozen kids in that class, my first day. So, I'm building a team. I'm getting a team built back up, but we will not be there in Memphis. I'm going to be in the Ozark National Forest doing Mud and Guts. So go to mudandguts.thatchurch.com, and it is a 2-night military-themed survival. This isn't like a warrior dash. No. You go to win. And this is a competition. I mean, you're going to be shot at from paintballs. I mean, you got to rappel off of a cliff. You're going to do hand-to-hand combat. It is crazy, and my church is doing this. So
I saw pictures earlier of some of your guys from your church getting geared up.
Oh,
unloading quads and stuff. Going to have a blast up there.
Well, what they're doing, and I was supposed to go up there, and I was thinking, well, my wife's off work today, and so I wanted to spend the day with her. We've got the radio show, and I called Scott Harness. It's funny you brought him up. I called him at 7. We were supposed to leave at 7. I just called him. I said, look, I'm going to stick around, do my radio show here. I was going to do it over the air. Remember, I was going to be in Iowa today?
Yeah.
But anyway, long story short.
Naga, it's actually going to be at the Landers Center. That's 4560 Ventura Drive in South Haven, Mississippi. But it's right there on the border next to Memphis and stuff. So, and it's supposed to be a really big, really wonderful facility. It's the first Naga tournament ever in Memphis, and it's huge. $100 gets you in for both divisions, in gi and no gi. Bring your kids. For those who've never competed before, they have a 6-month and under division.
What?
Yeah, you didn't know that? Yeah, if you've been training for less than 6 months, you can go compete. It's a 6-month and under division. So you can go out there and check it out. And, of course, all of us guys 30 and up, I'm going to be in the Masters division because I'm over 30. But Nathan will still be in the Masters for a couple more years.
I'm 30. I'll be 37 in like 3 weeks.
You ready for that executive area, sir?
Listen, I know this sounds crazy. This isn't just blowhard stuff, but I've been doing Visalis and I've been losing weight, but I'm feeling phenomenal. I'm sprinting. I was doing sprints. 37 years old and I'm sprinting. Like,
he's sexy and he knows it.
I really want to fight again. And if I can, I want to fight at 205. I'm already I'm lower than I've been since 2007.
Do you realize how massive of a 205 fighter you would be?
Hey, man, I'm 230 right now, and I've not even cut. I haven't even cut weight.
You haven't done a weight cut.
I haven't done anything. It was just, I'm trying to build my muscle, and I'm burning, and I'm losing body fat. I want my six-pack. That was my goal. My 90-day goal was to have a six-pack by the time I'm 37 years old.
So 205 Triad Fight League, September.
Man, I'm telling you. It's tempting. But again, remember what I said earlier? I got to put myself in there. I got to get rid of ego. I got to get rid of pride. Am I done? Am I through? I have no idea.
I would hope not. Okay, poll question for the day. Get on the 5th round on Facebook. And here's my question. And post it. You can say whatever you want on there.
Oh,
Should
gosh.
Nathan Kirby get back in the cage in September and fight in the Triad Fight League? I don't care what team he fights for if we don't get one in Little Rock, but we're going to have a Little Rock team. I want to see a Little Rock team.
That would be awesome.
But should Nathan Kirby fight again at 205 of all things? I don't even care if it's 205. Should he fight again? Get on our Facebook page. Hit us up. Check us out. Nathan Kirby, Craig Anthony. You get to check us out. We're all over the place. Of course, the Facebook page. Love it, like it, share it with your friends. It makes a wonderful stocking stuffer at Christmas time, too. So, but we only got a couple minutes left to go. Next week, Pat Miletich will be on the show. He will. He told me on the phone. He promised me. So, I am also working right now. I have been in contact with the one and only Ben Smooth Henderson. And Ben is up for and here's where we stand with Ben Henderson. Ben wants to come on the show. Ben is excited to come on the show. Ben's PR guy says, let's find time. Ben is fighting. It is guaranteed he is fighting in August and defending his title against Frankie Edgar. So right now they're starting his whole training process and everything at the MMA lab. And he's getting ready to go. But,
man,
hey, it's 8 a.m. in Phoenix, dude. It's 8
I was just going to say,
so
dude, just get on the phone for 30 freaking minutes.
And he said it was cool. Kickskin got a hold of him and said, hey, let's rock and roll with this, get him on board. And he said, cool, just got to go through my PR guy. And this PR guy was being a PR guy. So, also have been working on some stuff. We got some good stuff in the works, ladies and gentlemen. We love all of you guys. We thank you very much for tuning in today. Next week, Pat Miletich right here on the show. It will be our version of a mega card like last week.
Listen, remember what we talked about a while ago? I never want to get to the point where I never want to get too big for our fans or too busy for our fans and too busy. We want to hear the voice of Little Rock. We want to hear the voice of our fans. We really do, because you guys are the reason why this show is even on the air. That's it. Not to hear us ramble on, but to know what's going on, to get plugged in, to hear from these guys, to hear from the experts. So this is what I want to do. Craig, promise me next week that we can set aside a 15-minute chunk of time. Let's throw the phone out there. Let's throw the phone number out there. Let's get it out there every day on our Facebook pages. Get the phone number out there. And then next Friday, we have 15 minutes. Everybody gets 60 seconds, so we get at least 15 callers in, and let's hear from the state fans. Yeah, let's blast this.
Blast this phone.
I just want to hear you guys call in. Tell us what's going on. Tell us what you want to hear. We'll have some questions out there, but I really, we said that a long time ago that we're going to do, man, what did we say? It was like 5 minutes. I can't remember what we called it when we first started. But
we had the 3 minutes of fury blasting back and forth between you and I, but we were going to do fanfare and But now,
Fanfare.
no matter what, get online. We're out of time, but get online. Check out the fight card. Next week, we're giving away those tickets. Somebody's going to win tickets to the Kingdom Promotion Show and a pair of tickets to go check out an Arkansas Travelers game right here on KLRG. And the 5th round.
Goodbye.
Expect a win. I don't know, by knockout or submission. That's what I'm going to go for, but I expect 5 5-minute round of war at very high pace.
It is the